Thomas Dexter Jakes, more commonly known as T.D. Jakes, stands as one of the most influential spiritual leaders of the 21st century. With a presence that spans the pulpit, the page, and the screen, Jakes has built a ministry and a legacy that transcend traditional religious boundaries. His rise from modest beginnings in West Virginia to global recognition as a bishop, author, filmmaker, and thought leader is a testament to perseverance, divine calling, and strategic vision. This essay explores the life, ministry, and multifaceted contributions of T.D. Jakes, detailing his early years, spiritual journey, rise to prominence, and lasting influence. T.D. Jakes was born on June 9, 1957, in South Charleston, West Virginia, and raised in the nearby city of Charleston. He was the youngest of 3 children born to Ernest Jakes Sr., a hard-working businessman who owned a janitorial company, and Odith Jakes, a dedicated educator. From an early age, young Thomas demonstrated signs of spiritual depth and intellectual curiosity. Although he had a speech impediment that led some to doubt his potential, he was deeply influenced by his parents' example of resilience and commitment. A pivotal experience in his youth was caring for his ailing father, who had developed kidney disease. This responsibility forced Jakes to grow up quickly and shaped his empathy and sense of duty traits that would later define his pastoral care. Despite facing economic and social limitations, Jakes found strength in faith, family, and education. He briefly attended West Virginia State University, but financial pressures and his father's illness led him to leave college before graduating. In his early 20s, Jakes responded to a divine calling to enter ministry. In 1980, at just 23 years old, he began preaching part-time while working at a local Union Carbide chemical plant. With only a handful of members and limited resources, he founded a storefront church in Montgomery, West Virginia. Despite its humble beginnings, the church, later named Greater Emmanuel Temple of Faith, grew steadily due to Jakes' fervent preaching and unwavering commitment. During this period, Jakes also pursued theological studies through correspondence courses, and would later be honored with a Doctor of Ministry degree from Friends International Christian University. He began producing audio and videotape sermons, and his work started gaining attention beyond West Virginia. His early sermons addressed emotional healing, spiritual growth, and inner transformation, often drawing on his personal struggles and deep biblical insight. The breakthrough that catapulted T.D. Jakes to national prominence came in the early 1990s, with the release of his sermon and book titled, "Woman, Thou Art Loosed." Initially presented as a Sunday school lesson, addressing the emotional pain and spiritual healing of women, it struck a powerful chord. The message grew into a best-selling book, a national tour, and later, a stage play and a feature film. "Woman, Thou Art Loosed" became not only a spiritual guide, but a cultural phenomenon that resonated deeply with audiences across racial, social, and denominational lines. Jakes' growing influence caught the attention of national religious leaders, including Bishop Paul Morton of the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship, who invited him to speak on larger platforms. His dynamic preaching style, marked by theological depth, emotional resonance, and theatrical delivery, quickly made him a sought-after speaker at conferences and revival meetings. In 1996, sensing the need for greater outreach, Jakes moved to Dallas, Texas, where he founded the Potter's House, a non-denominational megachurch. The church opened with about 50 families and exploded in growth, eventually exceeding 30,000 members. Located on a 34-acre campus, the Potter's House includes sanctuaries, classrooms, administrative offices, and outreach facilities. Jakes' ministry also established prison ministries, youth and family services, financial literacy programs, and urban redevelopment projects. Jakes was a pioneer in using media to amplify his message. His weekly broadcast, The Potter's Touch, aired globally, reaching millions of homes via networks like BET, TBN, and the Word Network. He also founded TDJ Enterprises, a media and publishing company responsible for producing books, films, and music. As an author, T.D. Jakes has penned more than 40 books, many of which have become bestsellers. His titles, such as Reposition Yourself, Emotions, Soar, Destiny, and Crushing, offer spiritual guidance, motivational insight, and practical wisdom for personal and professional development. He writes with a tone that merges biblical doctrine with modern-day relevance, appealing to both devout Christians and mainstream readers. In Hollywood, Jakes emerged as a respected producer of inspirational films. Notable projects include Jumping the Broom, 2011, Sparkle, 2012, and Miracles from Heaven, 2016. many of which received critical acclaim and box office success. Through his work in entertainment, Jakes has sought to bridge faith and culture, offering redemptive stories to a wide audience. Behind his public persona, Jakes is a devoted husband and father. He married Sarita Ann Jameson in 1982, and together they have 5 children: Jermaine, Jamar, Cora, Sarah, and Thomas Jr. His daughter Sarah Jakes Roberts has followed in his footsteps, becoming a pastor, best-selling author, and speaker. She co-pastors one church in Los Angeles, alongside her husband, Touré Roberts, and is considered one of the most influential young Christian voices in the world today. Despite his many responsibilities, Jakes emphasizes the importance of family, often sharing personal stories to underscore his teachings. He advocates for strong marriages, responsible fatherhood, and generational leadership. Over the decades, T.D. Jakes has received numerous accolades for his work. He has been recognized by Time magazine as one of America's most influential evangelicals, and received awards from organizations such as the NAACP and the BET Honors. He has also been invited to advise U.S. presidents and international leaders on issues ranging from poverty to criminal justice reform. Pikesi. His annual conferences, such as Megafest, Manpower, and Woman Thou Art Loosed, draw tens of thousands of attendees from around the globe. These gatherings provide spiritual renewal, leadership training, and community uplift, further extending his ministry's reach. T.D. Jakes' life is a remarkable narrative of faith, resilience, and vision. From a small church in rural West Virginia to international influence, he has redefined what it means to be a modern spiritual leader. His ministry has brought healing to the brokenhearted, empowerment to the discouraged, and inspiration to millions. Through preaching, writing, filmmaking, and humanitarian efforts, T.D. Jakes continues to leave an indelible mark on the world, a legacy built not only on charisma, but on character, compassion, and conviction.